This is the story they won't tell you. Teresa was fast asleep when the loud crack of the thunder reached through the night sky, jerking her awake. She immediately sat up in bed. Her eyes were wide open, and all traces of sleep were gone. She could hear the thunderous drone of the rain hitting heavily on her roof. It was raining so hard that even though her doors and windows were shut, she could still feel the chill in the air. It was a storm. Just then, a bolt of lightning lit up the area as another crack of thunder ripped through the night, scaring her. As the rain kept pouring, Teresa suddenly stopped as she listened hard. Beneath the noise of the rain, she could hear something else, trickling water. This was sounding like it was coming in from inside the house, not outside. With a sigh, she made up her mind to go check it out. She threw her legs over her bed, expecting to land on solid ground, but to her shock, her feet sank into a pool of water. Teresa's eyes widened in shock as she looked around, and then she saw that her entire room had pools of water. In panic, she scrambled to the other side of the bed and saw that the water was coming underneath the door, right from her living room. And in that moment, Teresa knew one thing: her house was flooded. Teresa grabbed her phone and jumped off the bed. She splashed water about as she hurried to the door. She needed to get her electronics out of the water ASAP. With a grunt of frustration, she turned the knob of the door and pulled it with all the strength she could muster. The door opened a crack at first, and in one brief moment, Teresa realized that she had made a terrible mistake. Just then, the door was ripped from her grip, opening wide, and the flood swept into her bedroom from the living room. She was knocked to the ground, pulled mercilessly by the wave, and slammed against the wall. Her entire house had been taken over by flood. Teresa's head was spinning, and it ached terribly from where she had struck it, but she suppressed the pain. Ever since she had moved into the house last year, she had always known that a day would come when the flood would threaten her life, and so she had planned accordingly. Drenched, she pushed herself to her feet and began to wade through waist-high water until she got to the door of her balcony. With a curse, she pulled it open, where she then proceeded to climb on the banister. Rain was beating her heavily, and the wind was blowing at her from all sides, but she was focused. The fence was close enough, so she leaped off the banister and landed on it. She almost lost her balance, but she righted herself at once. She then made her way across the fence until she got to the point where the water tank was mounted. She then used this to climb higher and higher until she got to her roof. Teresa looked around her neighborhood, and her heart broke into tiny pieces. The entire area was engulfed in water. Some houses were totally buried, only the roofs could be seen. Cars were being carried as if they weighed nothing, and the flood was coming in huge waves. Teresa had believed she was ready for the Lagos floods, but she was only just realizing how wrong she was.